What's next? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, approval of the minutes. We have February 13th minutes.
We have a correction that needs to be.
Oh my gosh, I love that. It's so disappointing when we don't. So I'm so excited.
But I did not motion and adjourn at the end of the minutes.
Gotta take all of it.
Now I'm gonna write it down.
Here's, so you first and seconded, is that?
Yeah, that's what it says on the minutes, but that's not what happened.
So who was the first and who was the second?
I was the second.
Travis. You know, Travis, when you retire, we're gonna need those notes.
I've laid out the canvas for you to take over.
All right, would you like to make a motion?
There's no, chicken ordinance approval in the minutes. That was the one I was talking about.
Oh,
Ah,
There's no old business in the minutes. One of which the old business topics was the second of the chicken ordinance.
huge reading of the second for, oh, gosh. I thought we were done.
That was the second reading, which means approval.
We had to do the second reading last time.
That's two.
Okay.
Everything else in old business was just informational, so nothing else. I think it needs to be on there unless you had to on the capital improvement plan.
No, this time.
Probably gonna want the approval on the chicken ordinance.
Had to write it, you.
Travis, that's so speculative.
They were talking about adjournment. Yeah, I didn't even know that.
How many permits have come through?
This is why I can't approve minutes before I drink coffee. I've got, I gotta drink coffee and then do it. Thank you, Travis.
It's done now.
Anything else?
No.
Anything else? That we need to check on that? Anybody? Anybody? Bueller? Bueller? Can we get a motion to approve the amended minutes? Here's coffee.
To approve the amended minutes.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Nikki's got the second. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Coffee forward. What's next on the agenda since I'm on it?
Claims payable.
Claims payable. We had a couple of things on claims payable. Lisa, you wanna share what that was?
There are two corrections on the post-prom and P.
Sorry, Brian.
Regulations.
Sorry, I didn't pour Brian coffee. I just brought my own and let Brian pour his own, so I apologize.
Oh, that's okay.
What were you saying, Lacey?
Sorry, Lacey.
Correction on the post-prom and PTO donations, it's 100 for each, not 200.
The report kicked out a duplicate, right? And so we made the adjustment in the accounting system.
But I will show you the check. The check says 100 for each.
Yay. What was the other one, Lacey, that you said, you've already corrected?
Dust Techs.
Dust Tech.
Dust Techs and A and B Business also both duplicated. That means I entered them twice, but I got those two.
That's next.
Rugs. They come up with all these rugs up and bring in new ones.
You can only vacuum them so many times before you need a different one.
Really falls for.
Any other questions? They have a motion for you.
Part-time.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Ryan's got the motion to approve.
You can keep that one. You're good.
I'll second.
Ryan's got the first. Travis has a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Public time. Deb? Everybody else is on the agenda. Okay, well then, we have a Barkless public time, so we're gonna move on to the next item.
I gotta mention,
Yeah,
Deb mentioned to me the buckets are gone
the what?
up in the park. There's a couple of buckets that have been up in the park near the retaining rock wall, slope hill behind the old Baptist church. And that was brought up Saturday at Coffee with Council, what they're there for and whose are they, now they're gone.
Okay,
So Well, they thought they were chemicals or whatever. They've been there.
I don't think they were, because I went up and looked and opened them and there was ice on the top and I smelled them and there's no odor.
Okay,
So they're
I drove
probably,
by, but yeah.
yes. I did that on Saturday.
Anything else for public time? We'll talk about coffee with council on the council report section of the agenda. Okay, what do we got next?
99.
Oh, old business, 299. Okay, so this is fun. As everybody, if you're following what we're doing here, there seems to be an endless list of things that need to be cleaned up. And so we have another thing we're adding to the list. With spring coming and with our new contract with our code enforcement company, the code enforcement company follows the International Property Maintenance Code, and that is what they use as a guide, you know, for code enforcement. They do this with 60 other cities plus 60 plus other cities. And it's kind of a standard, you know, that's used across the state and all that kind of stuff. So, 269, let's see here, 269 is the ordinance that, provides the adoption of the maintenance code
For 2018.
for 20, yep, but it says exclusively in there 2018. There's a new version, which is 2021, so we're going to have to rewrite this ordinance to use the most current, like change the verbiage to not be the 2018 edition. We're just gonna say adopt the current edition of the International Property Maintenance Code. Also, we're gonna have to review section 2, which is the revisions that they put in there to make sure that that's something that we still want to move forward with. Is this something that I can pass down to P and Z to check, or is this something that's council?
I wonder if Justin and Ryan's probably unfair to spring it on you guys, but I guess I'm just wondering.
Whose role would it be to do that?
Well, I think two of the main guys are right here,
Ooh,
and that would be, what are the changes, if any, that are significant? I mean, I assume if there's a 2021 version of the International Property Maintenance Code that during COVID, I suppose they decided they would produce a
updated.
new, yeah.
We didn't update these with the building codes that we
Well,
approved back when.
so
The building code's different. This,
Yeah, I thought they were all grouped together. I'd have to look back at the notes and see.
I think you pass them all separately though, because there's
Right.
IRCC,
I
yeah,
thought-
and
I
then
know
this
there's
was.
two different ones, but I didn't know if this was included with those or not.
generally you have one subject matter per ordinance.
Right, which it.
Let me answer that. So the ordinance 299 does say the city adopting the 2021 International Property Maintenance Code and amendments there too. But we still have to cross-check this ordinance with this ordinance to make sure that the amendments coincide with the 2021 and make sure that we have the 269 is still in standing and not in conflict with something else. And then we need to take a look at 299, and we need to take a look at the adopted, the 150.10 section. And there's specific amendments there, and we just need to vet it through our subject matter experts, whether that be you guys, and then do we route it to P and Z or this goes straight to council? Excellent. Okay, and then let's have Paul Clark have a gander at it too.
Ed, wonder if it's familiar.
Ed might want to take a look at it. And then I do think that we should engage our code enforcement contractors to see if they have any feedback from other cities about what they've done.
And the 299 was first reading, second reading, but it got caught right in between the transition from one council to the next, so it never got signed or published.
Yeah, that it was not signed or executed, so that made it tricky. And in our effort to clean up City Hall, if we cannot find attested documents, we have no proof that it was executed properly.
And I went back through all the billing statements and contacted the newspaper, and
Yep,
there's nothing.
I don't, want to suggest that we don't bring all the P and Z members into it. I think that's only appropriate to have everybody aware of it. But I'm interested in the expertise as to,
for recommendations, for
What-
initial recommendations,
I
and then have P and Z kind of gloss through it.
mean, it's easy to say, sure, we've got the International Property Maintenance Code 2018 edition. Why wouldn't we want 2021 edition?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
why wouldn't we? I guess.
Well, I'm more concerned about the altered ordinances
Yeah.
to see if they make sense in both ordinances. So we just need to figure out how it's supposed to read. And then maybe what we want to do is have the the ordinance read that we will continue to adopt the most current one by resolution, if we can do
I
that.
think by the way that we've gotten stuck with having dollar figures in the ordinances, there can't be, it's just this year, because otherwise we gotta go through the whole process
Agreed.
every time there's a new one.
Agreed. So if there's any fees that are attached to any of these, they need to be pulled. And then we'll do that by resolution. Another thing that's really weird about this one in 299, they're talking about insect screens for food preparation for human consumption. And I have some concerns about that as far as, I don't know if that's our role as a city to start doing food safe ordinances on top of other
Well, I
things.
think the health department would want to
Do,
do
do,
that.
do you see what I mean? So there's just a couple of things in here that I think we need to take a look at. And,
Anybody doing subtleties? When,
but it's your favorite.
my subtleties are my favorite.
Yes, it's your favorite.
This ordinance 299 provides for adoption of the International Property Maintenance Code 2021 edition as amended. Well, that's the magic language that allows you to not have to go back and reenact new ordinances every time an edition of something changes. In contrast, ordinance number 269 does not contain the language as amended. If it did, we probably wouldn't have to do anything
Right.
with respect to 299, because we could rely on that elasticity provisions, flex provision in 269, but we don't have that language as amended. So when you do contracts, a lot of times if you cite a statute or a case, you state, if it's a statute as amended, which allows subsequent changes to be incorporated automatically. So
Without having to go back.
yeah, there's just a bit of a cleanup here, but I did want to point that out. And so under the language of ordinance 269, the city adopted the 2018 edition, period. Under the language of proposed ordinance 299, the 2021 edition is picked up, but in addition, it contains language that would eliminate the need to go back and have future ordinance revisions.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. And the 299 is not fully executed because it wasn't signed and attested by the previous administration, so therefore we couldn't publish. And so we're kind of in this limbo state, so we need to get this done. Once we have review, we may have to do a quick meeting just to get it through because spring is coming. And so that's some work that we need to do. So Justin and Ryan, bedtime reading, so you figure it out, and then we'll move it. Yes, ma'am.
The code enforcer is supposed to come into town tomorrow. So where does this put us?
He's in limbo right now because at this point in time, as it stands, we only have the 2018.
Okay.
Well, he would have, I'm sure, have access to the 2018.
Yeah.
Version.
If he wants to come in for an initial review to take a look at things, but as far as, just to kind of get initial inventory, I think that's fine. But we have to get this rolled through before anything is really,
He could call me. I bet he knows the difference between.
I bet he does too.
I'm pretty sure they'll come and they will know what,
Yeah,
what standards have changed. There probably won't be too many.
yes.
Well, and the thing is this isn't about coming through with a fine tooth comb through the city of Baltic. This is about just making sure there isn't craziness going on. And so Ryan, do you have some time to meet with him tomorrow when he comes and?
Like, I mean,
If you don't, I mean, if it works, great. If not, then we'll figure it out. It's okay. He needs to take a drive around anyway and get familiar with the city, so it's the perfect time to do it.
You can give him my cell too, Lacey, if you want. If he wants to chat.
Okay.
I'd be happy to talk to him. You know,
You do like to chat.
I do, yes.
Okay, any other questions about 299? All right. Trevor.
Okay.
Trevor Pendy is the mayor of Colton. He has come to visit us because he loves municipal meetings. And he can't get enough of them, and he wanted to see if Ryan actually works. And so that's what he's really here for. And they have this fantastic program that they did with Crooks last summer to shuttle kids to the pool. So Trevor is going to explain a little bit about that, and then we got something to talk about.
Yeah, so last year we tried it within school district. We had a bus we have our own bus service, Foreman buses, Tri-Valley buses, but we paid them to go up to Crooks and then pick up we had 2 pickup points in roads, and then they transported them. And so the bus just had the bus garage, and the kids swam for about 3 hours, and then they went back and picked them back up, and then went back to their destination. We was pretty smooth. I mean, the way we had it set up, we kind of had, we did a town hall the first time with the parents and us just to have a, Q&A, like what if this and what that. So we kind of laid out, I know there's like a little brochure. It's not really, this is just a rough up because we'll have to change, all because it's that, and like change the wording on it, but we did do like a 2-strike policy on the bus, the child misbehaves twice. Their service is done, they can get allowed back on. We also, when they did sign up, they gave like a little bus bag. So we asked them to put it on their bag, so the bus driver knows exactly that they're supposed to be on this bus. You're not picking up straight random kids. At the same time, we didn't want kids like catching a ride to curl up single on it. But we kind of worded it as a shuttle service. We kind of wanted to leave. We kind of worded it just as the city is setting up the transportation. In that way, so we don't really have any liability on it. Foreman bus is going to be insured and everything with that. So it's just pretty much the cities coming together and
help with this.
to pay for the service. But now I've already talked to the Foreman bus to see what the route would be to Baltic to Crooks and then back and then whatever, back again. We're probably looking roughly about $180 a day for the service.
So we figured $1,500 for the summer, per city.
Yeah.
Per city.
Right around there. That's 3 days a week.
So you're thinking Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or you
That's
thinking?
what we kind of did Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We actually thought like Friday was gonna be a good day, but we did a survey through our community and just see what days
Mhm.
they wanted to do. And surprisingly, Monday was like the number 1. I thought that was gonna be like,
So a lot of people cut out early for weekend camp.
well, that's what I thought. I thought everyone was gonna come back and kind of, but Monday was the big deal.
How many weeks?
How many weeks? Well, that's what we can decide on.
Right,
We're planning on opening our pool the week after Labor Day. So that's.
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day, sorry. What is that?
After May 31st.
Yeah, so it's like, I think we're looking at that Tuesday, so we'll probably do our own soft open, we got a bunch of staff. Which we do have 3 lifeguards from Baltic, actually, so there's, yep.
so basically they would pick the kids up in time to get to the pool when it opens. And then the bus will hang because they hang out in Colton anyway.
Yep.
And then they'll pick them up right before close and all the kids gotta come and go.
Yep.
Now, there's a pass system, so you have to like let the bus know that they're coming. And there's 50 kids on a bus,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, well, we're putting 50 kids, that's the max to do 1 bus. Now, if we get into another bus, obviously, the fee's gonna go up or the charge is gonna go up, so. We can technically get up to about 70 kids on a bus,
If we have,
but they have to sit 3 to a seat, and we're talking with bus, like, most kids, they're 2 to a seat, and that's it, so.
so another thing that we were talking about is maybe they start with Crooks and then come to Baltic and then come to Colton, and the next day you start with Baltic, depending on, what it is, and if there ends up being overwhelming support, then maybe we each get our own bus. But really, from the number standpoint, there's more nuances to this, and we can talk about that. But the nuances of this is to make things simple. Since we don't know how many kids are gonna enroll, it would be a cost of $1,500 to the city of Baltic to chip in for the bus for the summer. And then the cost of the citizens of Baltic would be the bus pass.
Which you said that, and I think you're gonna have to set a bus pass at some price point. Now, last year, we did it $80 per child for the whole season,
Okay,
and I don't know if that's.
is that the swim pass?
No, that's not the swim pass. So our on top of that, if you're gonna get on the bus service, we ask that they get a family membership or an individual membership.
That, so the idea was, I'm sorry, but I was under the impression that the idea was if the city of Baltic paid the $1,500 to cover the bus,
Yeah.
then the only cost to the citizens would be the swim the family service. Okay. Okay.
Just making a recommendation, like, if you guys wanna do that, that's completely fine, you know, make it completely free to your citizens, you know, there.
Well, because the idea is they might get some corporate sponsors to help offset that. That's what we're hoping.
So the only thing that I'm worried about is if we get too many parents that, you know, if you say, hey, we only have 50 bus passengers, that you're gonna have kids that just, parents are just gonna sign them up no matter what, they're not gonna do it.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
So how did you mitigate that?
So we did a fee, we did a bus fee. So,
Okay.
and I think $80 was a little bit too much last year. I think that kind of deterred a few of them. So if you can, maybe, I mean, we're not looking at getting rich on this. And then this is,
Right.
that's not what this is about. This is just getting the kids out and doing something. That's what we kind of set it up for.
Mhm.
So I think if you set it up maybe like around $30 per child to get on it. I think that for the whole season, I think that's
That's $10 a month.
fair and that's pretty.
That's pretty.
Yeah,
reasonable.
okay.
And then
Drive over
our
there.
family membership passed at the pool is $75 for the whole family.
So basically, that's super reasonable. And this would be afternoon activities. Are you guys thinking about the swimming lessons?
We're looking into that, so we're looking into the swimming lessons also. Also to add, we do,
Yeah.
you know, if there is families that can't afford,
Mhm.
we do offer free swim pass, or
Okay.
free membership.
So there's scholarship opportunities for
Yeah,
those
but
families that.
the city kind of just pays it.
Okay,
I know we were kind of looking into it, like for the bus and how to, because we don't want to get anybody's financial record,
Right.
so like, we don't care about that. So we were thinking about maybe if they can just show up with like financial aid or like Medicaid or something like that.
Yeah.
sure.
So they can get, they technically, and that's something that you guys can decide too.
Mhm.
I think if we do it, Brooks and you guys will have to be on the same page for fee.
So basically, this is an opportunity that if any businesses or if any families want to donate to help their neighbor to offset these costs for the people that maybe don't have that, you know,
Yeah, that's what I would look
it
at.
would be a way to do that as a community.
We have an online. So then we could have like a little bit where they can, like, are you in financial, you know, needs? We
Sure.
can offer this, so, you know, completely for sure.
So we can take a look at that.
Yeah,
Okay,
so there's many avenues, I mean, we can explore and, you know. How we actually truly want to set it up, because it is gonna be a little bit different now with two communities.
right.
So that's where I'm just saying like Crooks and Baltic are gonna have to be on the same page because. We're gonna have to word that correctly because. We won't be able to do the bus. 3 days a week per community, because then we'll have to do. Every community on the same day. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Because otherwise the fee will go up.
Oh, yeah. That would be perfect.
So I think that's where we do.
How would we, what do you guys suggest we do to make final decisions? Because really the council, they need to approve spending.
Yeah.
Policy or how we roll out this program is something that we can roll out through City Hall.
Yeah.
And just make some decisions there. But as far as spending and what it would cost the city, the council needs to vote on whether or not they're willing to contribute to the bus cost to help make this practical and then figure out the details from
Yeah,
there.
pretty much, I mean, that's why I said you can do you do the fee, because you're just pretty much including the shortfall of like, you know. $80 will actually pay for the whole service,
Right,
but I don't think we want to do that.
no. And what I would recommend based on, Travis's information is that we approve an expense up to 1,500 while we work out the details, because then we have wiggle room.
Yep.
That's my
I've
recommendation.
already been asking with, Relive Bank on our side,
Mhm.
and that's Dave Johnson, that's right up his alley, you know, kids and we get it together, so.
Sure,
And, yeah, like I said, if you have any questions on the whole, you know, read on that brochure, you know, there's kind of like, try to get.
I have another question. You have 2 pickups in Crooks. The thing that Lacey and I were talking about, since Lacey Branham is usually here, you know, on those days, that we just have City Hall be the pickup location. So that way the kids just gotta get here because City Hall's kind of central, you know, so.
And that will be.
Well, Lacey has a fair amount of experience with children, so,
And
Yeah,
that's
she could recommend.
beneficial because we did with Crooks, we did the library and their city hall, because Crooks is kind of spread out and they got that busy highway that
Right.
runs through it. And they didn't have their bike or the walking path completely done at that time.
Mhm.
So they didn't want kids running, you know, across the street to get to it. But it did work good because if something last minute came up, like weather came, we did call the library and city hall. And if
Well, our
there's-
library is a block away, so that
Yeah.
probably isn't the
It's,
best.
but either way, like, so we could call city hall and say, hey, you know, we are actually closing the pool today, so if you have any kids waiting for mine, just let them know that.
Yeah,
Well, and the city hall and Classic Corner are probably the only two businesses that are open Monday to Friday.
But we do, if, you know, with this, they get on this member splash, which is how they sign up for them, our pool. Cause that's what we recommend they do because, or it's kind of a requirement because then we have everybody's emergency contact info.
Right.
So if there's an incident at the pool,
right.
we have right there. It's the, we can actually put a picture of the child on there. So if they're
Good.
checking in the pool, you know, our lifeguards are close to that and see exactly, okay, yeah, and then we have all that contact, but we also have, I'm trying to think of the name of it, the big email. The monkeys.
Oh, MailChimp.
MailChimp, geez.
Please.
So we do have that option that we can send out a mass email to everybody
Right.
and get in contact.
Well, and we have a text service too. We have
Yeah.
to do that too, but then it goes out to everybody.
Yeah.
So Debbie, you have a
We
question?
agree that we can have a 2.1 and have one like here at City Hall and have the other one up at the Heights so that we've got each side of that. Nice.
I agree with you, but then there's going to need to be adult supervision and someone's gonna have to, you know, keep an eye on that. You can't just be dropping off kids in the middle of the park, standing there hoping a bus shows up, you know, unless everybody's okay with that. Justin, you're not doing anything, are you? So the nice thing is we have city hall staff. And so this, I mean, if we can figure out something for a second location, I agree with you, but we don't really have the
Like
staff.
it's right,
back-
it's all over campus.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think it'd be fine for a single pickup point. There, you
Yeah, you guys
can
kind
have
of-
bicycle.
kind of like right here.
Quick moment.
well, this is on the edge of town, but we have staff here. That's the difference.
Yeah,
So
Are we going to have summer help yet? Could maybe be,
I think we can work out those details, Deb, if we figured that if we can find a way to do a second location, I think we'll be open to it. I don't think it's a decision we need to make right now, though. So we gotta figure it out. Mhm.
so I think what we'll have to do is, you know, maybe we rotate like, or, well, we'll have to stay consistent no matter
Right.
what the bus. So it's either Baltic Crooks and then going home, it'll be Crooks Baltic,
Right.
you know, so just to be fair that one community isn't always on the bus longer than the other, you know.
Yeah, I totally understand.
Have your kids ride the bus.
That's right.
Yeah, you know, but I think just so.
So do you guys have any parameters as far as who can take advantage of that? I mean, do you just have the citizens proper, or do you let anyone with a, I mean, is any kid like,
Oh, to be on, get on the bus?
yeah,
So we asked that the minimum age be 8,
okay?
you know,
Well, you had mentioned in the initial, that you were going by school districts, and so if someone's, I mean, how did you, like, if the country kids wanted to come in?
oh, yeah, they just have to be, we just tried with our own school district, this Tri-Valley's Fulton Crooks, so.
Got it.
We had our own, you know, kids get together, so that was kind of the biggest pull is, you know, the Colton kids and the Crooks kids kind of split apart
Right,
during the summer, so that was kind of a way to let them come and hang out with each other during the summer, so.
cool. Cool.
Like I said, we didn't have any issues with that. I mean, no kids got kicked out of it.
No baby groups.
That was the good thing. You know, that was the biggest thing. No kids got left behind. First.
So I need to, in order for us to be able to move forward to this expediently, because obviously we need to get the information out to parents as they make plans about what they're gonna do. Because most parents are probably already well into that. I just need, well, the recommendation I would make is to approve up to $1,500 to cover the bus, so we can work out the details for the rest of it.
I'll make a motion to approve up to $1,500. To move towards putting the program together.
I'll second that.
Nikki's got the second. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so we're in.
Okay, well, then we'll just maybe pick up Dave with, Butch, you guys or whatever, and we'll get together.
Butch is awesome. I can't wait. That'll be fun.
Well.
That'll be fun. Okay,
And I
cool.
think we just do pick a, kind of really you guys decide, maybe a registration date.
Yep.
And get that out, so it's a fair, you know, 'cause we want to do the 50 first come, first served on that deal. You know, we can go up to 60, 70, I don't think we can let anybody know, but if we're hitting at 60, we're not gonna take the budget. It's off the budget.
Parents are planning right now already, so.
Yeah, and so what you're gonna see is we're gonna have a shuttle form that comes out and we got a little brochure here that we just have to tweak and make sure we got it right. So we probably need to have a meeting sooner rather than later so we
Yeah,
can get the
we-
information out.
I'll talk to them, and we can get some.
That'd be great.
Oh.
That'd be great. What is today, Tuesday? Yeah, give me a call. Let's figure that out. Even if we have to do it by teams, at least we can get it done.
Yeah.
Right?
No,
Okay.
if I'm sorry.
All right, perfect.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Run like the wind.
Yeah.
Okay,
We were in ours till like 10, I think, so.
all right. Thank you.
You guys.
Thanks, guys.
Wow, Colton has a really cool mayor, Ryan. What do you think of that?
What's that?
Colton has a really cool mayor.
Follow that.
Yeah.
Hi.
I know, I was like, so how we doing there? How we doing? Okay, so, did you like that? Did you like that? Yeah, see, all snaps is firing thanks to coffee. Thank you, Java. Okay, so Microsoft license renewals, I got the reminder again, you guys, I gotta sit down and take a look at that yet. I have not, my bandwidth is strapped because I'm in busy season for work, but I will get this done. And, let's see here, City Hall, we're, again, bandwidth. I might have to call in some other people to help with this to make sure we finalize all the documents. From what I understand, guys, the ultimate goal of this is to make sure that we have a comprehensive statement so the citizens understand what happened to City Hall. And so that way there'll be a public presentation, because that is the orders I have been given, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, then we'll work towards that. And then fines and fees review, again, that all goes back to ordinances because we have to pull all that out. These are huge projects, so they're gonna sit in old business until we get them done to remind us what we have on our plate, but we might have to divide and conquer a little bit more. Yeah, so we have your notes. We have to take that to the next step. Okay, so we're on to new business. So we have two more guests here today. We have one guest here today and one that came for moral support. I got you. You already did. You already did. You just did. And we haven't recorded. We're gonna just play it in a loop. Yeah. Play it in a loop. Okay, so we have a street closure request. The date is what, April 13th? Do you want to talk or do you want me to just run it through for everybody?
I can.
Yep, go ahead.
So a lot of you may have known Travis Foster. Travis passed away unexpectedly due to a medical event on Monday, February 19th. He was of young age of 43. Travis was a previous resident of Baltic and became friends with anyone that crossed his path. He had an infectious smile and he was just loved life. And even after he moved away, he worked construction, so we still frequent the area a lot. Travis loved to play beanbags, and that's actually how Marcia and I got to know him so well. And he actually participated in the beanbag league that the Baltic Legion put on for many years. With that being said, we would love to have a beanbag tournament in Travis' honor and celebrate his life on April 13th. And we were looking to do it at the doghouse. We were kind of torn actually between the Baltimore and the doghouse because he was known everywhere. But with that time of year, you don't really know the conditions or if it's gonna be muddy, if it's gonna be whatever. So leave your street.
What time is the event?
So we are thinking currently, Megan's currently out of town, which
Sure.
was Travis's girlfriend. Megan that works at the gas station that you I'm sure all know. So we're working with her just to make sure that we can get all the details finalized. But we're thinking one-ish,
Sure.
just to kind of give it time to warm up.
Is this a Saturday?
It's a Saturday.
Because the bank is not open.
Bank is not open. If I looked up, so the Legion has been open the last 2 months for 2 Saturdays. If they're on the same rotation that they're currently on,
Do you know?
it will be that Saturday.
What about like Sally put out there? What's that?
Bargain basement.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if they have just told me. You don't get the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Right.
If we even have from the Sunday to even the end of the library, which would still be before the Legion's main entrance, we would be fine. And we would clean up that evening.
When is the library open?
Both then.
They close at noon and so does the bargain basement.
And the bargain basement closes at
And
noon.
we would shut it, we were thinking to shut it down at noon. And then we would open it back up whenever it's complete, which is hard to say, because we don't know how many teams we're gonna have for.
Sure,
Saturday tends to be a busy morning at the thrift store,
sure,
and we do have people who park both sides of the street,
sure.
including over by the library.
But if it closes at noon, then everybody should be gone by
We're
one.
never out of there.
But even if you think if we closed, even if we closed the street from even, let's say, from the
pound to.
to the doghouse to even like the first entrance of the Legion, that would still be before the library and before the bargain
What
basement.
we did at the car show is we threw a barricade on either end and then waited until the last car was out and then double the barricades. So they can drive around the barricade.
Right, because I think. if-
Yeah, especially that's on Sunday too. It's hard to compare that because Sunday there's no traffic.
Right,
There's no bingo that weekend.
there is a, okay. No, I don't think, well, because I feel like on dog days, I don't decide, maybe it'd be awesome to get that many, if I don't know that.
Right, right.
No, or not, but I feel like they never ask the library.
So what I think is, out of
Yeah.
honor of
Yeah.
the bargain basement, what might be a great way is that it's closed and then Sunday is open too for breakfast, so we don't want to necessarily block them off.
And I think.
But they're in.
But
Yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
we're gonna do more of like maybe not like, not initially, but maybe just have like cones of precaution starting at noon.
Uh-huh,
And then as it starts
Yeah.
at 1, then maybe put more cones out and a sign at that point.
okay,
But just like maybe, because the gentleman that actually did the BMA tournament for the dog days,
mhm.
he actually brings all the boards.
Yeah, he does.
And.
He does a good
Does
job.
it all, yes.
Friday can drop.
So we have-
the Friday in the grass, like the last time, and then you just assemble them up.
Right, and we have people obviously who will be willing to help with any of that, it's just.
I think it makes sense to block off the road in front of Someday Cafe, so you have a place to start and people see that, and then, like what you said is put the barricade so people have a caution.
Right,
And then once it hits noon, I don't think we need to, you can move it over a little bit depending on what. But be respectful of the bargain
Oh,
basement, so that way people aren't, feeling like they're getting rushed out.
and I don't think, like I said, I mean,
And it's probably not gonna be like, gangbusters right at 1 o'clock anyway, so I mean, it'll just be getting set up.
right, and we could even move the time up to like.
If you started at 2, that would probably save us a lot.
Yep,
Yeah.
we
The
can
only
only,
problem with doing that though, is I know, and I know you're saying you might not have the project at dog days, but at dog days, it was awful if you were winning because we didn't have adequate light to be shooting bags later.
right, and that's, right, and that's the only.
But
thing.
they also had like a ridiculous number of
It was.
teams, like it was,
And it
it
didn't
was
start
like
till-
37 teams or something like that. So, we can only hope you're gonna have that problem,
Right,
and then we'll just,
when will you guys meet again in April, before the 13th?
it would be right before we,
Yeah. We need to talk about that tonight.
okay.
Because that would be the only thing, like,
Are you gonna advertise or something?
yes, we're doing Facebook,
Yeah, our standard meeting's on the 9th, so we would have time to do things if we have to tweak it.
Why don't you just, yeah, why don't you just switch it to 1:30?
That works.
the 10th.
That works, definitely.
School,
Because then we get to sign up.
But the polls close at 7.
12,
Mhm.
and then. as
No,
people
but the
make
polls
plans,
close at
whatever.
7, so we can do our meeting at 7.
We're planning. We need to confirm some things with Megan still, and she's currently on vacation with her
Sure.
family. So,
Our basic meeting in April was on the 9th, so there is time.
yes,
So,
yeah, if we could do 1:30, I'm completely fine with that. And do we need? Are the codes okay, or do we need the actual?
You'll coordinate it.
Okay, that.
Okay.
So like we did for the, just put them up here in the corner. On assembles, you just gotta have somebody put it together with like so side.
Okay,
so basically, we need a motion for a street closure from the corner of,
okay.
Third and Lovely, or Third and St. Olaf, sorry,
32.
Give an end date or an end time,
I-
I'm thinking.
midnight.
Just call it night or 10 o'clock or whatever.
1:30 closure.
I just had to put it all done, but yes.
So close.
If you're doing it on a Saturday afternoon, I mean, you just chalk it the rest of the day is,
Right.
you know, anybody that's coming up there is gonna be going for that, so.
Yeah.
I would just say, yeah, call 10 o'clock or
Right.
just to cover your.
Just maybe do 11, just to be safe.
Yeah. Yeah,
Obviously, we'll over midnight, so that's.
I'll make a
Okay,
I'll make a motion for a street closure on the 13th. Was that between second,
Third and St. Olaf,
Third and St. Olaf.
third? Okay.
starting at 1:30 in front of Someday Cafe, and then to
That's second.
extend. I said second, sorry, my bad, you're right, second.
St. Olaf.
St. Olaf, so it'd be third and second?
Yeah,
All
I don't think we need to go all the way to third.
That's the section of street you're using. You don't have to go all the way, but that's the.
It's gonna depend on the number of players.
You'll have wiggle room, depending on how many teams you have, you can go to the corner. But as long as we all understand that you have to be respectful of the open businesses.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Ryan made the first,
I'll second.
Travis has the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, you got your street closure.
Thanks.
Slow.
No.
Can I make pauses?
Sophie, okay, so now we have Sophie here. Sophie's from CCOG and she's gonna give us some information. I've been in conversation with Sophie about different programs that might be available to the city of Baltic. Over the various projects that we have coming up, and so she brought us some stuff.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. We get out that door.
Yeah.
Either one.
Okay, hi, I'm Sophia Johnson. I'm the Community Development Manager at the Southeastern Council of Governments. We're a planning district and you all pay us dues. And then we provide some professional services such as grant writing, which is what I do, grants and loans. But then we also have some gentlemen on our staff that do more land use, so zoning, municipal code, subdivision ordinances, those types of things. And then we have one gentleman in our office that does GIS or geographic information systems. And so first I need to apologize to you because this is way overdue. Mayor McIsaac and I met right when you started.
Yep,
You've been
first
a
week,
little busy since then.
just a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So, but I think this is a good time, especially if your CIP is done or almost done, to start thinking of, okay, now how should we fund some of these projects? So I just brought two tonight, but if there's anything else you're like, is there funding out there for this? Just let me know and I can either do some digging or say, yes, I've had experience with this, or no, I haven't. The first one is the Land, Water and Conservation Fund. This is a park grant. It's a 50-50 matching grant through South Dakota Game Fish and Parks. It's due at the end of April. And this year they actually have priorities of what they want to fund, but if it's a good project, I just recommend putting it in.
What's there? What is it? You said they have priorities of what they want from.
Oh, sure. One was like a dog park, one was a playground sets, one was like a swimming beach, which I don't know how it's.
Swimming beach.
Yeah, splash parks are really popular. It wasn't a priority, but again, if you really want it, let's just put it in and see what happens. This is a rather competitive grant just because it's only available once a year, but I don't think you guys have got it to my knowledge in a while, so maybe that would be something that could work in your favor.
What's the maximum match?
Yeah, so the maximum kind of maxes out around 400,000, but that's with a 50% match. So
Right.
it could go up to 800,000.
Will that cover everything?
It will.
They don't have a big pot is my only kind of caution. I think they have about
Yeah.
1 million or like $1.5 million for the whole state. So
We'll take that, that's fine.
you'll take that, okay, yeah. So, I
Just
think we were talking,
So, and I think Sophie's comment there would probably be, a little better off if we applied for, one project, say,
Specific.
whether it's the ball courts or the ball field lighting. One of those projects that's gonna be in the $200,000 range to 300,000, 50-50 match. Get a 50% discount, still turns out pretty good, and we have some of that capacity available.
What's a higher priority?
Lights.
Probably the lights. I
would say.
Well,
That are-
but I gotta tell you, if the school goes in on lights, then that would be our 50-50 already, and then we can do a grant for something else.
Now we're talking.
There we're talking, right?
You see what I mean?
Well, that's why I think.
See how I pointed at you when I did that?
Yeah, I got you.
Probably because the school's not what we utilize.
You get a lot of opportunity to figure out what you want to apply to with the, literally just spent all last month's meeting talking about a capital improvement plan and what we're gonna do with the park.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a huge campus to work with.
And maybe you wanna do a couple years in a row, like this year, you wanna apply, I mean, this is once a year typically, so. Tonight, I just want you to mull this over and kind of decide what you wanna apply for, and then if you have something you do wanna apply for at your next meeting on April 9th, I'll supply you with a resolution. And I can work with you all and Justin to put that out in before the end of April.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
That'd be great.
That'll be great.
So that's funding opportunity number one. So the next one I have is the community access grant. This is the South Dakota Department of Transportation grant, and it's only for communities 5,000 people or less. And this is an 80-20 matching grant. So this is for road resurfacing.
We can use it.
Typically, they want it like a main thoroughfare. They don't want it like a neighborhood road. They want it.
Oh, we have a main thoroughfare.
Oh, we do.
Yes, I drove it today and I was like, I think this might be a good option. You know, what's important to them is how many businesses, where does it go? Is it going to the school? Obviously, that's a road that.
It goes entirely through the town.
Yeah, except by pretty much the majority.
Everybody, you can't get in town without driving on that road, right?
No.
So,
Thoughts, are we able to target on that
What's that?
for Lovely? Yeah,
So, yeah.
okay.
it's due in July, so we have some time to sort of put our ideas together. One thing just to be aware of is they want to know the average daily traffic count. So I think you can rent traffic counters from the county. You have some. So that's just one.
Justin will just sit on the road and click it.
Funny story back in the day, that's how a lot of people would get it. It would be
yeah.
an intern job where
I used to see that.
That's how he got into ISG.
Housing study. We just did a housing
Don't
study,
just
where I think the
stop
traffic, traffic in and out of town. I don't know if that's still current or valid.
And there's just 2-man teams.
Definitely
So-
want to get that done before school's out.
So grant max is 600,000.
Yes.
That project is gonna be well over that, but at least it will, yeah.
Mhm.
Could we do a portion of it though? And, you know, cause I think we probably need to do Lovely in stages anyway, don't we? Okay. So Lovely would probably check all the boxes on this.
Yes, you do get a little more points if you have it in conjunction with the utility projects. I don't know what the utilities look like under there.
Try to piggyback that off.
Right, because it's right being wired and.
Nice,
That's one
right.
of our newest.
Nice.
Structures.
Nice, I like that.
Just so you.
Like that.
The thought process is if you dig it up, you might as well fix it.
Yeah, do it all.
Exactly.
So, just one.
Does it have to be utilities or can it be like infrastructure like?
Yes, yep, infrastructure like water, sewer.
That's pretty new, but then there's the culvert underneath.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's a huge.
Well, and then coming from Third here down, there's some stuff that needs to be straightened out.
Yep.
Then,
So there is some utility that had not.
right, so that would be helpful. Okay, cool. So this is awesome. Anything else?
She's going to do it next month. I mean, that was.
We'll be looking.
So there's one more that I thought to mention. Again, this is kind of down the road, but, Mayor McIsaac said maybe some sidewalks were needed in town. There's one it's due in October, but you kind of have to put like the letter of intent in, I think it's in July, so around the same time.
Mhm.
It's for sidewalks primarily or trails. So that's another one, 80-20 through the South Dakota Department of Transportation. Last year, they actually took away the cap. It used to be 600,000, but they took it away. So as long as you have the match, I think if they did put that back in.
So the really nice thing is, guys, is Justin's got his eyeball on all this stuff anyway, and then he partners with Sophie and it helps us get money that we wouldn't have gotten anyway. So that's what's really great about having a city engineer and having CDOT help us with this stuff. It makes the investment we make in that organization well worth the money that we pay them.
Yeah.
Especially if she's helping us write the grants. And so that is really cool. There was another one that I heard of, and I don't know if this is through you or not, but it was, to do like a community greenhouse. Because we have a 100% volunteer, community garden. And there is a grant out there where you could apply for a year-round greenhouse and it would actually help pay for the staff.
Wow.
So, you know, I ran across that one when I first started, but it feels like it was 7 years ago. I'll have to look back into it again and see what it was.
Yeah.
But that was a neat one too. And there's just a lot out there. We just have to get really creative about what it is.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
any other questions for Sophie?
No, this has been great. So,
well, I'll send a resolution for the April 9th meeting and I might come again depending on what else I got going on, you know.
We'll keep you busy.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll keep you busy. Thank you very much, Sophie.
Thank you.
I appreciate it very, very much. Okay, so now we're on to Midco. There's a franchise renewal form that we have to fill out. Is that something I need to sign here? Is that?
What is that? It's no cost, it's just. say-
No, they pay us to,
they're just giving you money.
I have awards here. I don't have that, but you can find
To
it.
allow their service in town, they give us,
They give us money.
they get for their franchise fees.
Sounds weird, but like.
It's about $2,300 a month, so I think it's not something we're gonna turn away. So I just need a motion to go ahead and renew this franchise renewal agreement. Ryan's got the first. Who's got the second?
One second.
Travis has the second. All those in favor say aye.
I,
Any opposed? Perfect, done. Then we have the, I don't know what this stands for. South Dakota,
Association of Rural Water Systems.
perfect, okay, so we need to renew that. And, what is the cost of that again? $590, thank you. And so we need to do that, so that way we can get our water. I think that's pretty important. It's kind of a no-brainer, $590 to get that membership in there. Can I get a motion to approve that? Brian's got the first, who's got the second?
I'll second.
Nikki's got the second. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? We're approved. Looking to zip it along. Okay, now we got bids. Justin, do you want to speak to this?
Yeah, absolutely. Just another note. So people saw on the back. It says they are sort of.
Yep.
So even though may not be here, should be working with Blaze Gallant, just making sure we get the reimbursements and everything.
And we appreciate that. We want those reimbursements.
Yeah, so they do a lot of work to help us make sure all that goes smoothly. But really quick here, bids turned out really good. We had a lot of interest, state bidders on the open ash utility improvements and then 12 on the water main looping. All the bids were really tight, so it shows good competitive bidding. And then we got a good price at the end of the day. So open ash, low bid was Earthwork Enterprises at $915,865. Engineer's estimate was approximately 1.1. So under engineer's estimate under budget, absolutely perfect. And then same story with water main looping too. So that came in just at $500,000. Engineer's estimate was about 632. So under engineer's estimate and under budget.
I have a question.
Seeing on those two, it's just a competitiveness. Everybody's looking for work. That's what drove the price down. We got, it's really tight. So.
So is this capped and then they can't come back and nickel and dime us with other stuff at the end?
So I mean, if they run into unforeseen things, you know, they'd be liable for change orders. That's part of our job as an ISG. We do have contract by on-site inspection for this. So just making sure that we're having those conversations with the contractor. If it's not managed, it will get out of control. But our best interest is the city.
So anything else we have to pay, we can take it out of your contract, is that what you're saying?
Things that have vacancies in orders, so.
I just get it. I just-
You know, if there are unforeseen, you know, things that come up.
This is super favorable, and I think we really do need to thank ISG for the timing that they did this. They timed this perfectly at the beginning of the season when everybody's
Yeah.
looking for work and saved us a crazy amount of money. And so that is just fantastic.
So what did they come in on the second, about water main leak? What did you forecast?
$632,000, even at 500, so. You know, I was really surprised to see how tight all the bids were too. They don't see that, there weren't any outliers, so.
So we just need a motion to approve
Yes,
this.
we need motion to approve.
We need to do it separately. So we have the first one, we have the project number 28277. I need a motion to approve that and move forward. Oh, and then give me the, have the mayor have the authority to sign the agreement.
I'll make a motion to approve the open ash bid
Mhm.
of $950,800.65 to Earthwork Enterprises. And authorize the mayor to,
I think you read the project number for the water main.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I started with water main looping. I'm sorry, Travis. Can you just say that again, but do the water main looping?
We're going backwards on the agenda.
Yeah, I read the wrong one. Let me restate. The project number is 28572, and then go Travis.
Are you switching to the Oak Ash?
Nope, Oak Ash, yep.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the bid for Oak and Ash. Improvement, of $915,800.65 to Earthwork Enterprises.
Mhm.
Authorize the mayor to sign.
Perfect. Have a second?
Second.
Ryan's got the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Perfect. And then, now we have project number 28277, which is water main looping.
I'll make a motion to approve water main looping project number 28277 in the amount of $632,000.
500,000.
No, wrong one.
$500.
Oh, $500,963.55.
Perfect. Who's got the
Thank you
second?
for correcting me.
Okay,
Travis has a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Boom, we got projects going. About time. Okay. So now we're on to Daktronic service agreement. Ryan, you're gonna walk us through that, right?
Okay, yep. I reached out to them just with community ball association, we kind of had some problems with a couple numbers on the Westfield last year in the scoreboard, and then they kind of told me that the East Diamond flickers on and off sometimes when it's being used. So I reached out to Daktronics just to get, I figured they'd just do it, sure, to come out, check it over, and then tell us what, we need to do. They sent me an estimated quote of $1,975 to come out. And what they were going to do is just bring along a new part for the digit, which was $430 for that. And then kind of a retrofit driver for the other one. So I'm pretty sure that's just the motherboard. And that was $465. So that's included in there. It's not sure if it would be needed. I know, was it last year when we opened it up to look at the number that was kind of flickering? It's war. They sit in the sun, it bakes, so you figure all the plastic fittings are kind of tough. So I'm nervous of what it is, and when they open it up, when they really go through and look at it, see what's gonna be done. I should have reached out to Price, a new one. I mean, if you're looking at spending the $2,000, I'm pretty sure probably a new scoreboard would be probably $6,000, but I mean, it's pretty expensive.
Do we have a plan you can turn around and price something when against it?
With girls softball and everything coming up, I'm not even sure when they'll be out here just doing this service.
And
It would be, well, it still works right now, but it just flickers.
Yeah, each one, I'm pretty sure it could be just those wire connectors, could be loose in the plug. So it's probably something that either they'd have to rewire a plug in there or work it out. So
If worse comes to worse, can you swap it with the Westport? Just,
temporarily, the Westward is just the numbers, and I was pretty sure we fixed that last year. but
yeah,
they
we had an issue last year and it took
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah,
Will can look at it?
not all of Daktronics with all our stuff.
I don't know if it was something.
Yeah, no, I think
it
it's,
took forever to get Daktronics here.
so
Can you go ahead and get prices on signs for us though, so we know?
I can get those two. I'm pretty sure they're in $6,000. I mean, these are not that old.
I think you got some sponsorship on it, community for the scoreboard too, if we're really looking to upgrade, if you can staple some business
Yeah.
names on it.
What years, how old are those? Do you know?
When was the River Park we done? They're all at the same time as that 20.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
23.
It's gotta be
9 years.
They're about,
At
I'd
least.
say they're about 10 years old.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're still within the legend. They just are somebody,
What's the expectancy on those?
I think most scoreboards last a long time. It's just, I think they just get fatigued and.
Where it was.
Well,
And
that's,
that's.
yeah.
Fatigue too, if you had to sit outside every day.
So.
I need a nap for sure.
Definitely, definitely.
Actually, I'm gonna
Just
just,
one.
I know of just with like the fundraising, that's a big, the billboards in the outfields are a big fundraiser for ball association. So that would be, I mean, I'm not sure yet, there are probably people going to donate to a board name too, but I'm pretty sure a lot of the businesses are donating
Mhm.
already to the ball association and stuff too, so.
Right, and they also, with the school having their stuff too, they've gone out and pretty much squeezed every corporate sponsor they can get to. So, but we can take a look at that because again, if the school benefits from it because of the softball, maybe that's something that they can help with. So, if you can go ahead and, you said it's gonna be about 6 a sign. Okay, so, how much,
Sorry, but
um,
an 8x4x8 sign is $38.95. 8 foot, I was so 8 foot by 4 foot by 8 foot.
And I think these are 5x10s by like,
That is a basic generic
Yep.
sign like we have.
is that the multi-function one where you, I mean.
I just looked it up and this is the first one that popped up.
What's the repair cost?
For three floorboards, it's like $2,000. Honestly, 1,000 is mileage. And.
Are you
Yes.
sick?
It is.
I mean, the parts are, it's they're on wrong. Brookings.
Which is like
35.
And it's 2 trips, I'm pretty sure is what they got built up.
so Ryan, is it worth just getting a new sign as opposed to fixing it and then having to get a new sign anyway? I mean, what would,
I don't think so. I think fixing the signs. I mean, they're
Okay.
still
Is there
pretty.
anywhere else they go for there or something?
No.
like that?
no, not to fix. Nope.
Crazy mileage for 30 minutes to drive. I wish I got paid that. to drive.
Can you
I
fix
drive
it?
all the time.
What do they drive?
Yeah.
Is it a jet?
You guys, we went through the same thing last year. Same thing.
And last year, I should. I don't think it was.
It was over 1,000. It was over
Yeah,
1,000.
that's true. And I think it is serviceable.
Mhm.
What's your guarantee on their work on? Way out of rent.
Well, we have a dated sign. If it's a different digit, it's a different service. So I mean, it's not that the same one's breaking down, it's a different one that's breaking down. So,
And that, yeah, it's a high-wind area. I mean, it's.
John,
they're-
they're gonna leave long, get in the.
Sure.
Yeah.
Last time it was plumbing.
okay, so you need approval for $2,000.
I'm not even the HVAC.
Yeah, I hope that it would exceed that, but if it would, I.
Okay,
I'll
so,
make a motion to approve up to $2,000 for repair the scoreboards.
okay,
Second.
Ryan, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Done. Okay, flag purchase. Tell us about flags.
Check out those YouTube.
We have a new company for flags. Do we need to get that approved or is that just,
It's still ordered in place. They're expensive.
yeah,
So
okay.
I thought we already did that.
No, but we need more.
We have to replace them.
every,
Yep.
they're.
Aren't they driving down and look at the schools? Yeah, I keep going back to this, but aren't they gonna be in town working on the schools?
that's right.
Boards anyways?
Oh, you mean installing it one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they're literally gonna
Not
be
right now.
You know.
Why do they have to be replaced every year?
The flags,
They don't.
because of wind.
Well, yeah.
So I mean, these lights are the best I've ever seen.
Yes.
Before these were.
Yeah, I remember how ratty.
Remember we had to pull
It's
those-
been there for
We
years.
spent money the last 2 years ago, it was, we didn't order them, went to Menards, got the the nylon ones that were heavy duty.
Yeah.
They didn't last, they lasted maybe a month.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
These ones are what we ordered, say, for the last 15 years, they're polyester cotton,
Yeah.
so they're durable. But usually by now, they're already tattered at the tails, these ones held up very well.
Yeah, they
this
did.
brand.
Okay.
So we put rates on it?
I spoke with one other vendor and they said their flags will last a maximum of 6 months.
Who's this? Who's that?
That was actually through the state.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so I need a motion to approve these flags because we want to have good flags that we don't have
I'll
to.
make a motion to approve.
Okay, Brian, and who's the second?
Second.
Ryan, okay, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Perfect, okay.
What we do is save these ones that are not damaged, and if we can fix them, we fix them, so that if anything's after, like, say, the winter's worse on them, then we can just replace them throughout, and usually you get like a year and a half cycle out of them. Both in the past, we've got.
I learned something new.
Okay, so thank you. We're gonna go on to, July 4th. Get ahead of this, so she was gonna show us a calendar so we can take a look at it. What? I know.
There, that's it.
There we go. Okay, July 4th is on a Thursday, which is great. And so if you take a look at our ordinances, we have regulations around this, right? And so we have the generally you can't throw it at people ordinance. Then we have no fires are gonna be used any other time other than July 4th between the hours of 8 AM and 11 PM on said day within the city. And then there is we have the flexibility, don't we, to be able to change the state, right? Yeah.
We do it every time.
Yeah.
And so basically, we just need to decide when, we can have fireworks. You guys, if this is on a Thursday, people are gonna wanna set off fireworks Friday and probably Saturday as well.
Probably on Thursday through Saturday.
Well, and if the wind's blowing 50 miles an hour, there might not be any.
Well, but at least if we get ahead of this and it's done and everybody knows, then we
Yeah.
can figure it out from there. And then if we have to do fire warnings, then we can come back. So we just need a motion.
Well, Thursday doesn't matter because it's July 14th.
Yes,
Right.
to be Friday.
Standing in.
What other days you approve just falls into whatever time frame they have to be set off with, similar to July 4th.
Just-
So then
Ending
I
in
would
Saturday.
you just
Thursday,
approving
Saturday.
more days.
Yeah, we just need a motion that says we're extending the fireworks to the 5th and the 6th because of the placement of the holiday.
Yeah.
You don't have to say the 4th, you can just say the 5th and the 6th.
Fifth and the sixth.
Perfect. You don't have to do the time because it just extended.
Fall time already.
I got you.
Okay, I got a first.
I'll second.
Charles, second, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Perfect. Someone make a note that we need to have a notice out to the citizens that if they want to do firework permits, they probably need to get a notice to do that because we don't want to have a special meeting for a firework permit only.
We
So,
must have that in paper and.
You're the one that.
Like, get it in
they're really
advice,
good.
but
there's two groups that usually get the permit and then there's that guy that,
Big show.
yeah, that he does big show. So, yep.
Very usually they're like,
So, but I think it's worth reminding people in April, May and June, so that way there's plenty of warning.
April,
for everybody.
so it's not a rush in June.
Yeah, it'd be really nice to have that all squared away. Okay, cool. Well, Justin, we kind of did all your stuff. So we have Oak and Ash Water Main CIP done, detention basin.
We just have a link on your guys' website with project updates for these projects that
Perfect.
everybody can be aware. But also can deliver flyers to the directly affected residents. Both of these are utility projects. I just want that known right now. There will be times where service adjacent to projects will be down. We'll try to get at least 48 hours notice on that. It is construction. Not everything goes perfect. So just making sure that's out there. We'll make sure we coordinate as possible, as much as possible.
Will that be an open, I mean, are other council members or other people, can they attend the pre-construction?
Pre-construction meeting, and yeah, you really want to.
I'd kind of like to, just, I'd like to understand.
He goes to chicken.
Yeah, I do
classes,
chicken
so-
too.
subtlety.
Yeah,
Subtleties, yeah.
give them a hat,
okay,
they'll fit in.
We're gonna do that down here.
Yeah, we just do it here
Sure.
generally. During the day is when we have it, and it just goes over the
You
contract.
guys. Are we gonna send that out like in the text?
I don't know if that needs to be a full on,
It's not a public.
Oh, I can.
I don't think that's
They
I
will
don't
get
think
it
that's
done.
a forum public
Right,
meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was part of notifying.
Discussion here to see.
And like I said,
Well, if you're gonna hand-
we'll have a website with the general updates, that way everybody can get their
Sure.
updates there. With the detailed updates. Capital improvement plan, I'm going to circle back to that. The final report was provided tonight, so we would be looking for motion to approve that plan. If accepted by the council on those items in there, previous items we talked about. It was really nice to make some connections with Sophie here, she talked about community access grant on Mulberry Avenue. We have that project cost estimated. We do have funding opportunities like this. It makes it really quick for Sophie and I to link up, get an application pulled together. We have cost estimate together for that. Sidewalks as well. We have our 4-year plan for sidewalks. We talked other funding opportunities, but if we can tap into that grant to get that as well, it's a huge opportunity. This is a plan that's going to be a living, breathing document. Don't plan on just shoving it on the shelf. Before we know what budgeting season will be coming up, so we'll be opening up this plan again, just to make sure all priorities and projects are moving. So,
When will the water looping in Oak and Ash be done?
completion dates, I kind of posted within the letter of recommendation. Our water main looping, I believe, is September 15th completion date. Oak and Ash is October
Perfect.
15th.
Well, if I was October 1. In the email.
It was that substantial. Yeah.
October.
October, so it'll be.
In there, just
This, water main team will probably jump on it pretty quick and that project will go really fast.
Perfect. There's been some posts about water pressure, so it'll be really nice to get those done.
Yep.
Okay, what else you got?
you want an approval on this.
Oh, yeah, that's right, sorry.
What would the changes from this happened?
The biggest thing was adding bulk lights in there. So the improvements on that, reprioritizing some of those projects, pulling up native buffer on the bulk lights. As well, and that project is just solely, the playground equipment.
And remember, this is living and breathing. I mean, this is the construct, but
Right,
again,
right.
Yeah.
I thought you did a phenomenal job. I can't wait to read it. I'm super excited.
Do a motion to the CIP plan.
Brian's got the first,
I'll second.
Nikki's got the second. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? You have a CIP plan. Good job.
Thank you.
Justin,
Thank you, Jessica.
I'd like you to make a note on 115. If possibly paving the parking lot that's already there with that as well.
Yep.
Okay. What else? Yeah.
That's most of the items I had, unless you guys had any questions about the dive into anything else.
When we get to detention case, then we'll probably, let's do that last, and then we'll do executive session on that. Okay. Is there anything else on yours? Dustin? Okay. Ryan?
Both the heights would say.
That could just be a general reminder. So, we're gonna work with Musco, get some lighting, quotes thrown together. They do offer some financing as well.
And then we need to talk to the school.
Yeah, we'd be looking at actually we get very project. So we'll be that snug item on there.
I really like the idea to go to the school and see if we can seize that and then use the grant towards something else that we can't go seize on. To me, that seems to be a really good use of this $1 billion. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I don't get to vote. Anything else? Mr. Fox?
Okay, just, we take some recommendations of any tree contractors for trimming trees. This is down in Ritter Park. That was one of the things I met with Kelly, the kind of ball association, but he's really mainly River Park, kind of for the big ball field there. Those, maples that are kind of overhanging, and when they come down, it's a big crash. We've been lucky for a lot of years.
Yep.
So more looking at maybe trimming them up, topping some of them, right, especially where the parking is.
Definitely.
Trying to maintain a lot of shade there. I mean, start trimming them, there's a lot of shade, but just because they are kind of overgrown.
It's
just-
preventative.
Yep. So does anybody have any features?
I got a couple guys I can get you contact.
Yeah, that's kind of all I'm looking for.
We'll send those to me too.
Yes.
Trees them.
Yep, so just kind of looking at that and stuff, the, what can be done, so. There you go. Okay. I'll look at these on first.
Give me a call. I'll go call them in on your backyard.
I think I'm gonna go down and chop some right there, smaller ones.
Nice.
Very
Okay.
nice.
I've been used to it.
That's the thing that we should-
That's on the street. Yeah, but I drove this.
What else, Brian?
Also, the other thing is, kind of went through, for chip sealing,
Yes,
kind of went through. It used to be, I tried to keep it around 20,000 square yards.
Sure.
Just because kind of without budgetary, just the way they like to come in and do sections of the homes and kind of working it. I'm pretty much, I think what works best this year is going to be this older part of town. Just because it's been about the furthest along on it. It's gonna be probably 28,000 square
so
yards.
it's gonna be a little more than we normally do.
Yeah, so what it's kind of, I'm taking it from almost a 7-year down to a 6-year, just because we're doing a lot more per year.
Sure.
That being said, with the price of chip sealing.
Right.
I mean, we're doing the least expensive form of surface repair. It's going to be probably over $2 a square, probably pretty close to that.
Mhm.
So this is something to ponder for future, is for that street assessment. On to bump that up, anything, because realistically, that's gonna come up where we're gonna start running low on that funds. And that's what that was set up was for the maintenance of crack sealing and shaping, pretty much what that was set there, so it's not repairs, not doing major over.
Is that our linear feet? Is that where that comes from?
The frontage, yeah.
Okay,
And the one thing is right now is, I think there's, with the Grants Park and Coach Crossing, since that hasn't been assessed yet, I think there was like $13,000, I think, somewhere in there, that once that comes online, then we'll have some more money into the
Sure.
coffer. So right now it's, you know, if you figure we're almost at probably gonna be,
do we have enough money to do this project this year?
yeah, oh yeah, we actually have money left from years.
Okay, good,
So, yeah, what, I'm not overspending what we collect every year.
okay,
So with this, we won't be right at the max, like this would take $56,000, which is about what we're getting, maybe a little bit less than what we're getting. But we'd be able to cover it. It's just that cracks, we're trying to, the newer streets that we want to try to keep in good shape.
Mhm.
That's where we're gonna have to start implementing it probably, but
what do you need from us tonight then?
no, I was just giving you a heads up.
Oh, okay, can we give
I
you,
want you to ponder if, I mean.
well, do you need us to green light this so that way you can get quotes and?
No, I'm gonna tell. Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
want to talk?
Just.
Yeah, just leave me in the.
It's talk therapy. That's great.
Haven't been.
Get him just talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do this
Yeah.
For,
I mean, Seal Pros?
excuse me, Seal Pros for that little patch job.
Yes, no, I'm not. I don't know when the.
Oh, we're all looking forward to that.
Lance probably won't open for at least another month, but.
Can we all stand out there while they're doing it?
We should be, yeah, I'll reach out to them to make sure we're high priorities. And we should be on top of listening to them.
Because, right.
Yes.
Right.
We should.
And for the road upkeep, you know, I think Frost, I don't know if it's really completely out, but the road's held up pretty well this year, so I mean, they're.
There's
When you have no
If
snow.
you take a look at right on the corner of Fifth and Lovely, and that is a gouger.
Oh, right, I thought at the top of the hill.
Yeah, we're able to turn and, to go south on Fifth.
Yeah, we'll fill that in. So, no, we got.
That's gonna be our swimming pool.
Yeah, so no, we'll go around here pretty quick and do the cold patch.
Okay.
Just what we do.
There's one by the tracks. Eastbound.
Oh,
Ryan
that,
Sinig,
where-
Ryan Sinig wants us to enact the pothole app, because that's what he's accustomed.
Hey, I gotta do it at my job. They might as well do it here.
He's accustomed to that. He wants.
Can you bring the
a
truck? Sorry.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Want some UPM?
Cool. Okay, what else?
No, that was really kind of not a whole lot, just kind of, we'll probably start trying to aerate fields, I mean, we're way.
You know, it's so
early in the
crazy. Yeah, what do you do?
So, yeah, don't want to be Debbie Downer.
I got
but
lost.
The weather can come back and.
Yeah.
Just-
Well, it's.
Oh, and it will.
Let's not get too
Oh, and it
carried away,
will.
so,
It will. It absolutely will.
yeah.
Okay, Ms. Finance Officer, what you got for us?
I think we should talk about moving the April meeting back,
Okay,
since we.
what would be what's the rationale on that one?
Well,
Can you
it's
show
on
us
the
the-
16th right now.
The
So-
April meeting should be on the 9th, second Tuesday?
We moved it.
Oh, that's right. We wanted to the back. Yeah, got it.
Yeah,
Thank you now.
But
Got you. Yeah, we might as well just have it on the 9th. guys.
Do we need a motion?
Yep.
Make the
Or-
motion, move our April meeting back to the regular night
Yeah.
of April 9th.
Okay, I got a first on that one.
I'll second.
Who was the
first?
So Nikki.
The coffee's almost gone in.
Yeah, me too.
espresso.
Second.
I'm having a little difficulty with some of the distributors.
We got a first. Hang on. we
Hold
got-
on a second, we're making notes here. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, what do you got now?
Hang on, we got a first and a second.
What?
Oh, motion passes. Do you guys?
We have to.
Oh, wait, oh, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed?
Half coffee.
Jeez.
Times.
Yeah, no.
We're so excited. Okay. Calm down, everybody. All right, I'm starting to get several invoices finally from the alcohol distributors for our businesses. I'm having a little difficulty with two of them, but I'll get it.
Feel still there.
They're fine.
They're good.
They're not.
We don't need to name names. It's all good. She'll-
But they are asking that we do ACH and do auto payments on their accounts to make sure that everything stays current. Because with one business in particular, there's multiple invoices that come through. So I'm I'm asking for your approval to do ACH payments for the distributor.
let's give you some context to this, so you understand what she's asking, is that when we approve accounts payable, these are the bills that are due, and then we write checks and we pay them. Now, there is a list of bills that are on ACH, and they're already paid by the time you approve them. It's just kind of how cities run. What she's asking is that the liquor vendors be on that automated ACH list, because we know it's for the standard operations of business for the city.
Yep.
And now that we've
Yeah.
invoked this new system, but that means that she needs to be able to pay them when they're due, and then we approve them residually.
And they're occurring,
motion.
There we
they're
go.
occurring.
Yeah.
She just needs permission. I don't think
Yes.
that, I mean, we don't need a motion
That's
for
the way
that.
to do business, then that's what we have to do.
Very good.
And so what we're gonna do is, going forward, she's gonna review some of these reoccurring month over month bills that are predictable and not static, but they're the same amount. And if we can move those to ACH too, that would also help us streamline the operations.
Actually, we have 9 that are already ACH payments, and a couple of them kind of vary a little bit, depends like MCWC.
Yeah.
Because it depends on what our supplies are.
Sure.
Where we get in. Midco is another, or, Mid-American is another one.
Mhm.
Excel is another one. Obviously, you can't bill somebody until you know what the usage is, so. Those change, but because of billing dates. I have to have them paid, so we don't have late fees. Verizon is also on that list, and both Ben and I do not use the phones. Can we drop them?
Yes.
We don't have to continue to pay.
Absolutely, yes.
Is the contract complete?
There is no, because it's a
It's
government contract, there's no.
Then I drop that like a.
Okay. Excellent. And the last thing is on the utility bills. There has been a couple little tweaking items that have had to happen. Today I had a gentleman come in, we were charging him sewer, it doesn't have sewer on it, so we fixed it, no big deal. But the big thing is that everybody was charged tax on their water service. So I'm going through and amending everybody's bill.
Mhm.
If you want to pay it as is, you can. If you want to call me and get the different total, it's like $1.77 minimum up to, I think, $5.80 I've seen, depending on what the total is.
So why don't you just,
If you pay the full amount, you have a credit on your
that's what I was
account.
gonna say, just pay what you get this month and next month we'll have.
There were lots of concerns though, because it did jump a lot for some people. Yesterday, I took 26 calls. Today, and I probably had just as many people come in the door.
And you get walk-ins, yes.
I just love that people are so attentive to their water bill. That's exciting.
There were a lot of concerns yesterday. It came.
That's exciting. So, with that being said, she's gonna do some adjustments here. This was our first month of going to the new
Yep.
bills. And so your recommendation is,
I would like to not have any late fees this month and at least next month, as everybody gets a little bit used to the new system, make sure we got everything back in line again.
It's fair.
I don't know if we have to do a motion for that. Okay,
Excellent. Excellent, thank you.
I don't think we need a motion for that too, either. No. Okay, cool. What else you got
Did you
here?
want a motion on the ACH for the,
Do we need one?
I mean, they never.
Oh, that is spending money.
Yeah,
That is spending money.
I do a motion.
Okay, we need a motion for the ACH. Who wants to do that?
I'll make a motion to change the payables to ACH going forward as needed.
I'll second.
All right, so we got Nikki, and then we have Brian. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Cool. Okay, what else you got, Lacey?
That's all.
Okay. Lacey?
I just have a couple of things. So, good job to Lacey and all the G-Work stuff.
Oh my gosh, okay, seriously.
lot.
Sorry, I'm souped up on caffeine. The city hall employees spent an amazing amount of time getting this G-Works up and running. By hand, by data entry, by working with G-Works, by working with Badger and checking, triple checking, quadruple checking, all the things to get it done. So fantastic job. We're just headed in the right direction, and life is gonna be so much easier once we get on the other side of this. And all the other services that are gonna come with it, they've done a spectacular job.
I'm starting to see snippets of like the maps and how we can actually peg where all of the different things are, or put the
The pins.
Not the pins, stops, what the books, not the book stops.
Marks.
The water,
Look for it.
the water things.
Curb stops.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
All of those,
Definitely
and like the location of where the shut off might be, all that stuff is in there. So
Yeah, that'd be nice. There's a lot of spec in this and we're just gonna.
we get
a
lost
little
when you
bit.
start digging around in there.
It's got a lot of really neat functionality. Brian Fods is super excited about learning about
I
that.
bet he is.
Got that on my.
Okay,
This story.
All right, so I did like a,
Sure.
I didn't send it to you yet, but I did a little voiceover video of me making my own account. So that, we can send that out as needed and we'll post it.
and then we need to put that on the new citizen packet when we create that online. That would be great.
And it's really simple.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So,
Super user friendly.
and then I was gonna just mention, I'm starting to kind of try to figure out dates for the driveway carnival in July, but I want to make sure, I was gonna talk to the Fall Association, because last year there was like a big tournament in Omaha that right? And nobody could go. So I just want to make sure that it's as much as possible, not in the way of something that a lot of Baltic people are gone for.
Sure.
Dog days, I think we're pretty
Second week
set.
in August.
9th through the 11th, we're
Yep.
gonna run into when school starts.
Yep.
So,
So mark your calendars.
yeah. Oh, I was gonna, never. I canceled my camp.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay. Legal counsel.
Other than executive session,
Okay, we'll handle it.
Okay.
We'll handle that in. Council, any updates?
We had a great turnout for, also, super encouraging as I think it was
Good
the third one.
conversation.
Yep.
And I feel like, people were coming in and asking questions and and then it helps them make informed decisions.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was fantastic. And I would encourage anyone that wants to come in the next one to come down. It sure is a great way to see it.
Well, you certainly get your questions answered a lot more thoroughly than you do than on social media.
Yeah.
Right, and they're the right answers.
Yes,
And
they're the right answers.
and it's not intimidating to come in and ask them in a casual setting versus even coming into a council.
Yeah.
So it's just a very,
I know you don't have to be camera ready when you come to coffee with council. And next time you're gonna make the party pack of pancakes, is that what you're doing?
Well,
I
brought egg bake.
it was.
Did you bring eggs?
There was plenty of food here. You should have.
Yeah, definitely worth coming to eat.
Did you have a big turnout?
Yeah, it was nice turnout.
Yeah.
that's funny.
Oh, really? Good.
I think the chairs were pretty much.
Rodney, what's Rodney's last name?
I'm talking,
Yes, it was fantastic listening to him.
Yeah,
you know, he's the best.
Something,
He's the best.
like, I didn't know Second Street was the perfect page in
Yeah.
town. And
Oh, yeah.
I hasn't been touched since. That's amazing.
They must have done really good work.
They do good work. Yeah, but somebody back in the day had no engineering.
It's probably Bud.
Yeah,
Probably
It's probably-
stayed old.
Well, he's the way the company, I can't remember what it was he said, but he said, yeah, that company didn't use engineering and it's been the same ever since. And I mean, he's just.
Yeah, there's bumps on the road.
I love it.
What did he say? 63, I think he moved out or something.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, I was in the 50s, yeah.
57, I think.
The oldest resident, town- or been in town the longest.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
If you have a question,
57.
we have walking museums in this town,
That was right.
without a question, yeah. Any other updates, council?
Thank you.
Thanks, Sophie.
Thank you.
thanks, Sophie.
Okay, well then, what I'd like to do is, recommend that we go into executive session to take care of some matters, and then, I need a motion,
Make a motion to go to exec session at 8:28.
8:28, and that is Ryan, do I have a second?
Sure.
Second.
Which one?
Which one?
Yeah, thank
Nikki's got it, okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
you.
Any opposed? Okay, we are now in executive session, go ahead and, stop it.